Lovely. Okay. So we're just going to settle down into the breath and we're just going to really allow this feeling of joy just to settle in through the body. We're going to take it down through all of the shoulders, take it down through the crown of the head, all over the back side of the body. Inhale, exhale. And really surrender into that joy sensation. Allow it to circulate, percolate, and lift the spirit. And as it does come down, we're just going to start bringing it into and through the third eye, in through the throat, and just allowing all of this joy just to start changing the perception from any layers of tightness in the third eye, any layers of tightness in the field. And we're going to connect that joy into the heart and ground it through the feet, ground it through the lower chakras into the earth core. So we're kind of creating um, a channel of joy into the earth body. And as we anchor it into the earth core, we're going to inhale, exhale. And then, if you can see, we're going to extend the arms outwards horizontally with our inner vision and connect hand to hand with our neighbor upon the planet. And allow this frequency of joy to transit through the body and into the hands of our neighbor. And those around you. And as we inhale, exhale, feel the sensation of joy, laughter, bliss, fulfillment, allowing the fulfillment to wash through the whole planetary body and to our brothers and sisters and through this process, feeling the souls connect one to another and hearing them laugh. The exchange of joy, the exchange of oneness, the exchange of bliss, circulating through the collective field. And as we access into this state of joy and bliss, the divine feminine fields begin to spin and open, radiant levels of rich pink geometry. The feeling of grace, beauty, awe, and reverence for the different variations of light. Expanding into higher love. And this expression of deep love and deep surrender allowed to wash through the body, and into the planetary body through the collective field. Promoting appreciation for your surroundings, appreciation for your siblings, appreciation for your bodies, appreciation for the planet, and we can take all of this love, gratitude, appreciation, or reverence into the physical heart. And into the histories, the memories when we felt less than perfect, less than beautiful, less than, and into the levels of depression, separation, and disconnection within the feminine form, within the feminine template. And we're going to take it through the vast waters of the earth, the many lakes, rivers, seas, oceans, ice-capped mountains, North and South Arctic circles and Antarctic circles, connecting to the impulse of Divine Mother, Divine Feminine, Mother Earth, the variations of feminine energy within elemental compositions. And we allow this flow of love, joy, bliss, reverence, awe, amazement, appreciation, solidarity, connection to every cell, every organism sat upon the planet. And as we feel through an anchor, this perfected divine vibratory spectrum, we shall surrender the pain of the earth, the pain of the subconscious, the pain of the collective field, the planetary system, into that love where it's met at the heart with two polarizing frequencies to bring back to the 0 point. Overlaid to the earth body, the Sophianic flower of life. Restoring every layer of the flower. And with the breath, we allow the movement of the pain to fluctuate in and out of the awareness as it moves into the love spectrum and into the heart of the mother. And allowing the transit of negative behaviors to surface into our awareness as it engages with the love spectrum. Of collective play out. all of the layers of vindictiveness or manipulative, victimized behaviors of the digressed feminine template, the wounded feminine. Validate and be seen through own personal behaviors from the past. Through the collective field and the planetary field surface. And here we see the joining in communion between the shadow female, the shadow feminine, to the light feminine, facing each other to see with eyes cleared. So that all may unify and reunify be heard, be listened, and be seen. We're going to inhale, exhale, allowing the bridges between both sides of the spectrum to join. Creating vertical tunnels for an upfolding of the lowest feminine layers to rejoin and reunify with the higher levels. recirculating the love back down as we allow the emotions, allow the memories, allow the behaviors just to kind of circulate and rise. That run negative. And we're just going to go ahead and validate those feelings, validate the behaviors, and just kind of validate that aspect that's kind of releasing in this moment. And what we're kind of coming up against here is a restricted expression, a restricted viewpoint of these layers of feminine consciousness that have been kind of repressed, have been kind of overlooked. And we're looking more into the kind of negative ego behavioral types of that digressed feminine. And through maybe imagery, through kind of memories, reason, but understanding the negative ego built around feminine structure or the digressed feminine structure. And just start to isolate any contracts, isolate out any behavioral patterns, and we're just going to bring it all up to the surface. And through the process of observing, seeing for what it is, this then starts to change the behaviors. It starts to change the process and starts to unlock the energy. And it's through going into this depth we're then able to kind of release the constrictions of this underwater underworld of the feminine presence. Feeling through the layers of emotion that comes up, any layers of distortion, and bearing in mind we've got many layers going into this fragmentation of the feminine. So we are working through a group field perspective. And we want to start taking out these lower layers of distortion, the perception fragmentation, and we can also see this running through an ancestral lineage as well, ancestrally, through the mother line. No yukia na kyo prajana motpuriya sa odora. Surrendering to mother. Bridging in stability. The rejection of men. Fighting against the masculine archetype. There's a whole load of victimization and trauma held around that. We want to bring in the highest expression of the masculine and just allow him to stand within the vicinity around. And this is projecting in as Archangel Michael at the moment. As a protector, the family of Michael, which many layers of the feminine kind of being reactive to is going on. There's a kind of state of dissonance and confusion. within the history of experiencing many iterations of really bad guys, really bad men abusing women, we're then seeing the dissonance, the cognitive dissonance response to Archangel Michael as they're looking on towards him and not understanding why there is no threat, and then scanning and looking for danger. When he stood before them, creating a hypervigilant response, pain in the arms and the heart, unlocking to release. And the kind of paranoia, psychosis undertones that are trying to formulate a perception that the man is bad through past experiences as a projection within this group field on looking towards Michael. And as the filtration of trauma is circulating and revolving through to try and reorder and trying to create a storyline or understand what's going on here with a noble masculine in front, this rapidly changes the belief system within the feminine structure. It's almost as if he's holding space for the female to process the lower levels of trauma, the lower levels of psychosis, paranoia, abuse traumas, gaslighting trauma, all of these kind of digressed belief systems in order for them to upfold the collective trauma of the feminine to move it back through into the heart and release. And as the upfolding and the processing of this trauma circulates and updates with physical pain to the heart, the release of betrayal, the release of gaslighting, danger, threat, paranoia, psychosis, experience through abuse from men, they open and allow bits of his light to support their system in the update. So blue light resonant tones of Archangel Michael, protection field, a security blanket, not a security blanket, but a security adaptation to the reconstruction of the feminine template, all starts to circulate an impulse which is gradually rebuilding a sense of self within the most depleted sense of self of the feminine template. Surrendering, bridging realizations that all is safe, which then reverberates through the rest of the structure bringing the negative ego action into a space of relaxation from heightened threat, hypervigilance, fight, flight, and freeze. Medusa archetype synthesizing within diamond sun frequencies. The snakes turn back to hair. Flipping out the checkerboard from a polarity spectrum into a board of, seems to be some kind of board of magic, or a manifestation board, or a creative board. To rebuild upon and recreate one's own template structure. Chichen Itza, Mexico, Mother Arc site activate. Gold sequence running through the black and white spectrum. Aquamarine of the Mother Arc, releasing out all fear, all distortion, all control, and all magic held over the feminine, or black magic held over the feminine. It's like a kind of controller magic structure that's kind of overlaid to the template, where it's kind of purging all things sinister that's created distortions and handicaps within the feminine. I'm going to surrender to God completely. reverting back to the Medusa head, synthesizing as all of this checkerboard mutation kind of moving out of the archetype of Medusa. What's kind of going on here is the trauma, the behaviors that are kind of encapsulated in where she would turn people to stone with her eyes. I think that's the mythology anyway. This is then changing the inlaid behaviors of the archetype. And through that, kind of having to see this darker imagery, we have to see the kind of the negative side of it in order to re-anchor the love and re-anchor the light in place, which is changing all geometric spectrums and resequencing as the blue dragon. I see a surrender to God to allow the transition of all of this nastiness, all of the kind of trauma and the belief systems, the reversal layers within this archetype to synthesize and come back into the light of love. Inhale, exhale. Illuminating opalescent ray. And resurrecting the divine female within. Allowing all of the pain just to move out into the seat of God. Which what comes with that is the grief and the wailing of the female to process the trauma as we bear witness to her now. She is seen, she is validated. She is accepted. And encouraged to join her family for oneness. and just start restoring the light, the ruby, the aqua, back into the female structure. Any light spectrum that feels right, just bring that back in. And we're just going to start regrouping now and coming back as we've just had a big release. We just want to kind of validate the layer of this trauma. And as that trauma circulates through back to God, to connect and correct and neutralize, we're going to start pulling ourselves back together. We're going to update through all fields. We're going to update through all localized grids. We're going to move to seal forward through all levels or layers of light, through all bodies, and through the breath of the divine I am. Inhale, exhale. Recode, release, and seal. And thank you.